Hello everybody, Friday beer time. Now, I was expecting to be sampling a beer from Northern Ireland that I can't get over here. My good friend Red Setter Dude has sent me a couple of bottles of a local brew, but they're currently sat at the post office and I won't be able to collect them until the morning. So we've got an emergency stand-in. Big Job's massively hopped Cornish double IPA from the St Austell Brewery. Ingredients: natural Cornish spring water, Maris Otter pale, lager barley and wheat malts, Nugget, Centennial, Citra and Cascade hops. It says here somewhere, Big Job is a big beer, 7.2% alcohol, dry as a bone and jammed full of Cornish barley and as many Citra and Centennial hops as we could get our hands on. It's not subtle, but if you love the taste of big powerful hops, Big Job will be just the job for you. So, bottle conditions. So I have already poured, just to make things simple. First thing is, it's weird to look at. It's calmed down a bit now, but it was just like pouring out a pint of fizzy cider. There's no heads, and it really was fizzing away, straight out the bottle. And straight away you can smell there's a lot of hops in this. It's got a sort of a it's a bit like an elderflower smell, but not sweet like elderflower. But it does smell of vegetation. So let's have a go. It's alright. It is very bitter. And there is a big hop flavour. But I have to say it's not remarkable. They're right to say that it's not subtle, it tastes of hops and that's pretty much it. Drinkable though, being quite sparkling, feels quite light in the mouth. 7.2% is a good belt of alcohol. I'll certainly enjoy that and the other bottle I've got. Don't know if I buy it again though. Worth a go, worth a try. Just not the best in the world. So to tonight's business, I'm doing a VR for Pete from the channel Cedric Ada Outdoors on YouTube. I watched a video of his last night, 5 knives he will never sell. And he talked us through how his attitude to knife collecting has changed recently. And it's crystallised his ideas about what are the important pieces in his collection. And he said at the end, leave some comments about your favourite 5 or do a VR. So I'm going to do a VR on 5 knives I will never sell. I think the need to preface the video though with the observation that I've got quite a few more than 5 that I will never sell. This is just a selection. So it doesn't mean that these 5 are necessarily any more important than other ones, because I could probably do 2 videos at least on 5 knives I'd never sell. But this is the 5 I want to show you today. Okay, so 5 knives I would never sell. A lot of people, when they get onto this subject, they usually have a knife of sentimental value. Maybe it was the father's, maybe it was the grandfather's, something like that. I don't have any knives handed down to me by my father, and if I had, I'd have threw the fuckers back at him. Anyway, I have this, one of my oldest knives, probably the oldest, an Opinel number 6, carbon steel blade, showing the many years that have passed. I had this over 20 years, I would say. Not always made such a good job of sharpening the edge, so it's a bit wavy. But I did make the belt sheath myself from leather offcuts, wax cotton I think the stitching is. It's wet formed. You can see the mole grip teeth marks around the edge. Used to carry this every day, but I haven't carried it for a long time because basically I don't want anything to happen to it. Now, although the sheath isn't particularly pretty, the wet forming has worked quite well because you do get a nice little snap in, and although it rattles, the retention's fine. So that's the first one, the nearest thing I've got to a sentimental knife. The next one, the first full custom knife that I commissioned, and this is the Tanto 200 by George of GI Custom. As the name suggests, we've got Tanto blade, 3/16 01 tool steel, desert ironwood burl scales. It's a lovely knife. I did a video some time ago with a bit of abuse testing, and it came through with flying colours. So that one is a special one. I'm not a big fan of Tanto blades generally, unless they're on a traditional Japanese knife or sword, but this was the first Tanto design that really grabbed my attention. And when I saw George do a testing video on the prototype, where he basically whacked the living shit out of it, I thought that's the one for me. So that's the Tanto 200. Lovely basket work on the sheath. George's logo on the back there. Next, we've got pocket knife. I like traditional European pocket knife designs, and this is one of my favourites. It's a Laguiole by Artisan Coutelier. Anybody who's been watching my videos for a while will have seen all of these knives already, but this is a real beauty, I think. White bone scales, 12C27 blade, mirror polish. We've got the, let's see if we can get that in focus. Not doing it, is it? There we go. Oyster shell on the back, where you would normally have the B, and then we've got the guillochage along the back spring, the hand file work. Absolute beauty. Come on, focus. That's it. big fan of white bone as a scale material. I do think it looks very, very nice. So it's a big slip joint. Love that knife. The next one I would never sell is the Northwoods Michigan Jack, also in white bone scales. The reason I would never sell this, well, a couple of things. First of all, it's an absolute beauty. I love carrying this knife, I love using this knife. Whenever there's a new batch of Northwoods pocket knives, they all tend to sell out fairly quickly, especially if they're ones made by Great Eastern Cutlery, as this is, because the quality is really, really good. Northwoods do use other companies and the quality is not so good, but this is a lovely thing. Northwoods knives and Great Eastern Cutlery knives are difficult to get in the UK, if not impossible. So I bought this direct from Knife Ship Free, as you might imagine. There. The shipping costs and the import duty doubled the retail price of the knife. So apart from the fact that it's a lovely, lovely knife, if I was to sell it, I would never get my money back on it. So it would be stupid to sell that one. But I don't think I would ever want to anyway. That's lovely, that. And then finally, the fifth knife in this video, knives I would never sell, it's got to be the Moorlander from Chiro's Knives. This is my beautiful big beast of a fixed blade. 5.2mm thick, RWL 34 stainless, Thury burl, presentation grade for the scales over black liners, brass pins, brass lanyard tube, little thumb lanyard that I put on myself. I do like this style of lanyard that goes from the thumb round the back of the hand. Much more safer than a wrist lanyard, because if you drop the knife it swings side to side, whereas with a wrist lanyard it's more likely to swing front to back and stab you. And this is an absolutely beautiful knife. I think lots of reasons why I'd never sell this one, all of which can be summed up by saying that if I was to sell this one, it would be conclusive proof that I'm a fucking idiot. Let's have a bit of cutting. Can't get through a Friday video without a bit of paper cutting. Let's see how we get on with the phone book paper. Oh, look at that. Oh, it'd help if I could hold it still. But that is about as sharp as you're going to get anywhere. And that's 5.2mm thick. Oh! 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 So, I think I've made my point there. 5 knives that I would never sell. I don't know if I'm going to get them all in camera now, so let's just have a bit of a do. Put that on there. Stick that there. Right, you get the idea. 5 absolute belters. So that's my VR to Pete from Cedric Ada Outdoors. Hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.